So a couple quick follow-ups, that usually works pretty well, but sometimes the guy follows up after you try the move. So it just kind of depends on how he reacts to the initial whack of his elbow. Sometimes the guys will, like Sandy was saying earlier, grab the gi while they're doing it. Okay, so you have to modify a little bit. And then sometimes what they'll do is they'll bring more of their hand through here. And so it's almost like they've got this, like they're using their whole forearm instead of just their fingers. Okay? So two ways to get around that. Okay. So in this instance, Mike's gonna go ahead and bring his arm all the way through, and you'll see he's got kind of his wrist or his palm into a fist. Okay? So even if I've got my hand through there, it gets kind of stuck on everything else. Okay? So popping it free actually becomes a matter of just scooping through a little bit higher. Okay? So normally I'd be coming through right next to where the elbow is, but he's got his arm wedged through there right now. Okay? So I would have to like literally start pulling this way, and usually when I do that, the guy's sitting up on you. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna dig through where there's a hole, which is up here. So you just dig through right through there, you pop out that way, okay? And all I'm doing is I'm just trying to pull my hand this way to come in against his elbow, and that pulls it free of my leg, okay? So dig through where I can get it, grab my palm, pull it back that way, and it'll come free.
There's a little rotation in your hip there too, to your right, so yeah.
It's true, yeah. In almost all of your levers, guys, you're using your hips still. It's not all your hands, okay? So when I get this, I'm moving back this way, okay? Boom, pop, and then we're free, okay? Another way you can do it is more of the sambo release. I hook this way, lean back, and catch it like that, okay? Either way, doesn't really matter, just matters on what you really feel like. If he's sitting up, usually I go after the leg. So I hook this, he sits up to stack me, catch, get your hands together, push your leg towards his head. Boom, and there you go. Okay?
Guys, this is my preference here on this situation. I always like this when it worked for me. I think it worked for you as well, because you're kind of bending him in half when you do the leg grab that we just call it the sambo, you know, arm and leg. Do that again, because he's really concerned about his right arm.
Right. Okay,
and he doesn't have a clue. You're going to be rolling to his, you know, to his leg and bringing them together, and that really helps pop it free, you know. So go ahead, Derrick.
So he's going to sit up to try and stack me. So as soon as he starts sitting up and pushing my leg out into face, I just hook his leg, because he's rolling me that way anyway. So roll onto your hip, hook his leg, get your hands together, and then just push your leg towards his face. And then of course, apply your hips. Okay?
And so you can keep hold of his leg. You got his arm and leg. Don't have to let go of his leg. You got him tight. You got a nice Juji Gatame from there. Now when you use that, I like this one. The first one is good too, but this is my preference actually. Notice when Derrick's doing this, guys, we'll drill on this in a second. He's going to come on his right hip, Derrick is, and that helps give him a little lever. That left leg is like he's doing an Osotogari on Mike's head. He's wham, and separates it, okay? And that's a really effective way to get this. But it's the setup. He's starting with a good leg press, guys. He's starting with a really good leg press. He's controlling well there. Again, controlling. Now look at his left arm. Comes up, sneaks it through, grabs it, gable grips, and there you finish. Okay, so that's an arm and a leg release, you know. And again, this is really useful in sambo, because we did it because the guy he had a jacket, but he had no pants, so you can't grab the pants and manipulate with. So, and it really helps hook, you know, so you can hook him there. Any questions, guys? All right, well, let's do it. Derrick, can you do it one more time on that one, and then one more time on the first release?
There. Okay, boom. Catch that. Pop back.
See how you control? And the first release, show that one, okay, right there through it.
Together, pull it sideways, torque your hips towards it.
And you see, it's really a tearaway. You know.
He's grabbing the inside of his bicep.
Okay, so good question. Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different when he does that. When the guy's reaching through and grabbing his own sleeve in this version of the figure 4 defense. Okay, again, digging this way is going to be a little bit more difficult. Okay, but I've got a nice hole down this way. So you scoop under, catch this, and we're going to do what I call the wrist peel. Okay, you catch him with your wrist on the part that's protruding. Okay, he's left this all out there hanging in the wind. So all I'm going to do is catch it with my wrist and then just peel up this way as I lean back and apply my hips. If all I do is I just try and use my hand to get this free, that's not going to work. Okay, even if I get like this and start pulling, it's still probably not going to work. But what I'm doing is I'm attaching his arm to my chest so that when I do start peeling with my wrist, I can lean back and use my hips to help pull the rest of it free.
And the weight of his body.
Right.
And the weight of your body, yeah.
Okay, so peel up with the wrist and back. Okay, that one works pretty well too if the guy's like this and he's got his hand stuck out a little bit more. Okay, peel up and back.
So you're just really collecting that wrist of his or that hand of his, just trapping it up and pulling it back. That's a good question. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Okay. All right. We'll call it there. Thanks, guys.